on the fence, as the expression goes, and you don't want to decide, or you procrastinate. You put off your decision, and to not make a decision is to make a decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna cross the street and you say, I don't know if I'm gonna cross or not cross, I don't know, I'm not gonna decide right now. Well, yeah, you just decided not to cross the street. So think about it. When you're indecisive, when you don't make a decision, you're actually making a decision. And there are consequences, side effects, repercussions, penalties to pay with each decision. So you have to weigh that everything. And in the beginning, this is really time consuming. I know you're like, seriously, Jonathan, am I going to do this with every? No, not with every decision, but the important ones. You should take your time. Take your time and weigh out the consequences. I'm still experiencing consequences from my decisions. Yeah. Any questions so far? You can't decide if you're going to ask a question or not. You've already decided.
It's so clear what you explain. Your explanation is it's clear and it's a
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. It's good to hear. It's good to hear. You guys are getting it. Um, so let's go to the next slide. Thank you for the feedback, guys. You guys are awesome. So let's talk about this. Consider alternatives. I think it's Sophie's
Okay.
chance to read.
Okay. Consider alternatives. Explore different possibilities and alternative solutions. Avoid rushing into a decision without considering other viable options. This helps broaden your perspective and may lead to more creative and effective solutions.
Great reading again. You guys are really good at reading. What are viable? What are viable options?
Yeah.
Anyone? What's a
Viable.
viable option?
Feasible.
Hmm. Feasible. Good word. Good word. Feasible. What else? Lucky, do you know what it means? Because we'll break it down for you.
Maybe
A
uh,
viable. Go ahead.
maybe that means the options that we can reach can
Yeah, maybe acceptable, right? Viable is like acceptable options, right? I like it. Feasible, viable. Janica, any other words for that? Does it make sense to you, sir?
yeah. I think about acceptable, something
Acceptable.
that's something not only good, something that can something you consider as great.
Yeah, or some would say doable,
Doable.
like it's possible, right? Not just some big fabricated option, but like feasible is a great word, viable is a good word. And those of you, if these are big words for you, be an active listener. Go ahead, write them down because they could be new words for you, new enhanced words. You could level up your vocabulary right now with some of these words. So explore different possibilities and alternative solutions. Again, it helps to brainstorm with friends and family and say, what about this? What about that? When we're talking about big decisions, like if you have to decide what college to go to, right? You think about what options each college has for you. Good morning, guys. Good morning. You think about what advantages and disadvantages each college has. One costs more, maybe one costs less, but it's farther away from home, right? This one, if I get my stamp from my certificate there, it's looked upon highly in society or at the companies I want to apply to. There's different things to weigh, and your major decisions should not be made quickly, and you can really find out the benefit of having friends because you can ask your friends who know you and you can say, what do you think about this? I was thinking about doing this, but I'm not sure, right? So yeah, good stuff, right? You guys still here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it could be me. Don't do that. I've been breathing all night and I feel like my nose is itching, so I'll just turn it down like this. Okay, let's keep going. I think it's the gentleman's turn now.
Yes.
Use critical thinking, sir. Janaka.
Yeah. Apply critical thinking. Skills to analyze the information you have gathered, challenge assumptions, identity, biases, and
Biases. Mm-hmm.
biases and
Uh-huh.
evaluated the credibility of your sources. This will help you make more rational and well-informed decisions.
I know, big words there. You guys are all doing so well, though. A lot of big words, but notice that these words are used appropriately. They work. You know, sometimes people are trying to use big words just to use big words, and it can sound wrong. But here, this is written in a way that flows well. So apply critical thinking skills to analyze the information you've gathered, challenge assumptions, identify biases, right? Like we said, your brain can try to trick you, so you can have a bias because you really want to go to that college, so you start to justify it, and evaluate the credibility of your sources. So, you know, not everything written is true or factual. Like I encourage people that read about different studies. It used to be that medical studies were very credible. They wouldn't publish them without credibility. But now you can see, well, research has shown, and you find out it's only 10 people in the study. That's not a good study, right? You have to evaluate the credibility of the source. So where are you getting your information from? And can you confirm it? And if your friends did research as well, could they also confirm your sources? This will help you make more rational and well-informed decisions. Again, it takes a lot of time in the beginning, but as you call upon your friends in this way, as you call upon your acquaintances and coworkers in this way, you will be able to discern things more quickly. In fact, you'll be able to think, let me ask Jonathan that, oh, you know what, he would say this. Jonathan would say that. He's totally right. You don't have to talk to me because you already know my perspective, and you know your friends, or like you don't ask your parents something because you're like, oh, you know what they'll say. I already know what they'll say, right? Because you know them. And so as you develop friends and acquaintances and a group of counselors, you could think about all of their perspectives and you can actually receive counsel without talking to them sometimes. Kind of cool. Kind of cool stuff. Any questions, comments? Anybody need to pause to process all this stuff?
Um, Jonathan, the words biais, I know in French they are the sound. Biais means something that's I don't I don't know. It's the same meaning in English.
A bias. A bias means you have like a preference. A bias is actually something against something, like almost like a prejudice. Um, you have a bias against something, so therefore you can't be trusted to have like a judge should be unbiased. A judge in a courtroom should not lean towards one side or against the other, right? They should be open-minded. So to have a bias is the opposite of being open-minded. It means having like tunnel vision, or you're going to lean towards something, right? So typically a bias could be a negative thing against something, or it could be in favor, always leaning towards something. Does that make sense?
Okay,
Not really, or yes, a little bit?
a little bit.
Okay, okay. Anyone else want to try to describe what a bias is, to have a bias?
In my opinion, I think bias is a too heavy word because sometimes you receive many perspectives and it's normal to find that others hold another opinion or something you are not familiar with, and it's normal to find another opinion or even opposite opinion. So I think bias is not so appropriate. I think maybe you finally can receive this opposite opinion. So I think it's just you need a critical thinking, but if there is a opinion that's not uh, it's not the same as you think at right now, but it doesn't mean it can be a bias or you won't change your mind in the future.
Right, right. So you can have your opinion and receive new information. That's very mature. So it's about not having a firm perspective, but being open to new information, like you described. That's maturity. Some people can be biased to where they can't be convinced otherwise. That's not a good perspective. But when you're talking to a multitude of people, you would get different input. So that even if you have a bias, like you want to go to this one college, you can justify it all day long. But when you seek other counsel, then people will say, well, if you go to this college, it will cost more, you'll be farther away from home. They can offer other perspectives and information that might slowly change you to where you're like, yeah, I really want to go there, but I can't deny that what you're saying is a more mature perspective, right? So, yeah, it's not bad to have an opinion, but you have to be mature and be open to, logical information. Yeah, it's good, good. So that's as we're talking about making decisions today, guys, or making better decisions. The slide was about critical thinking, um, applying critical thinking skills to analyze the information you've gathered, challenge assumptions, identify biases, right? If you say, oh, I keep justifying that, and evaluate the credibility of your sources. So good. You guys are good. This is a very productive group on stage today. What about this one, guys? I think it's back to Miss Lucky's chance to read
Yes,
again.
trust your intuition. Or while critical
Mhm.
thinking is important, don't disregard your intuition entirely. Sometimes your gut feeling can provide valuable insights and guide you in the right
Mhm.
direction. Learn to strike a balance between rational analysis and intuitive judgment.
Very good. Very good. Is everybody comprehending what this is saying? Because again, we're using some big, big words today, and I haven't even been looking at the chat because it's so small. Usually I have my computer behind the phone, so I have everything blown up. So now I'm like, um, yeah, so trust your intuition. Let's talk a little bit about that. Let's put pause on the slides for a moment. So intuition, discernment, um, the ability to have a sense. They say trust your gut feeling. We're losing a lot of that because of all of the digital interaction. People are not as intuitive or discerning with other people as they used to be because you can't really discern this way. Your body chemistry changes with each hint of a mood. Your brain is constantly releasing chemicals to your whole body instantly. And so, you know how they say animals can smell fear? Don't be afraid. Animals can smell fear. It's true, but they have a much more powerful sense of scent than we do. But as humans, we can pick up on the byproduct of those chemical releases. And if we don't spend enough time with people like this, face to face, like in live person, then you lose that ability to discern whether someone's telling the truth or not. Or, if you're with your friend and you go, "Hey, are you okay?" "Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. Why? What's the matter?" You're like, "Something's, I don't know. I mean, something's just different. I mean, I know you're smiling here. But are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. What?" And then finally you realize they're feeling sad, right? Because you can sense it. And so part of that intuition is your brain confirming through picking up the different byproducts of the processed hormones and different chemicals that they're breaking down. So we really need that, guys. You need to be talking to people in person. I mean, I know technology is convenient, texting, but emojis don't do justice for expression, right? They're just a simple form, and and this does not replace face to face. You got to be around people. So sorry about the digression. Just thought I'd get my preaching in. All right, all right, all right. I'll let you off the hook, guys. So trust your intuition if you have intuition. Yeah, intuition. It's like your gut feeling, like I know something's wrong. My mom's not telling me, but something's wrong, or my brother's not telling me, but I can tell something's wrong with him because you know him. You spend your whole life around them. All right, intuition. Good job. Now, seek diverse perspectives. We kind of talked about this earlier, but we're going to go deeper. Is it Sophie's chance to read?
Okay. Seek diverse
Mm.
perspectives. Engage in discussions with individuals who have different viewpoints or experiences related to your decision. Their perspectives can offer valuable insights and help you consider factors you may have overlooked.
Yeah, and that's why we like to have debate time from time to time here, so you can learn the art and the strategy of debate. Um, and you can enjoy the process of sharing information in strategic ways to try to persuade the other person to take your side. It's really fun. It sharpens your ability to manipulate and also persuade or influence. So debate is fun. What do you guys think about this one? Seek diverse perspectives.
Sometimes I just would like to meet different friends in some apps such as Hello Talk, and and Jonathan had maybe you have some news about I practice my speaking English with Jane 3 times a week, and we insist the practice, and we just practice in this afternoon about 1 hour ago, and I think I practice a lot. So I think it's amazing that I found a stranger on Hello Talk and we become friends, and also we have some conversation not only among the test topic, but also with some topics among social phenomenon or some individual
Mm,
condition. And she gave me some advice about the application about my doctor's degree. So I think it's a really
mm.
helpful thing happened to me, and I'm so lucky to meet you guys here. And also, and today she just said, if I feel free, I can send her my CV and help me to do some modification. I'm appreciate that, and I think
Mm.
with a communication with her, I got a lot of different perspective, cause it's different from the opinions from my friends surrounding me. So I think it's a valuable experience for me.
Awesome. Awesome. And that's what we try to promote here is interacting with each other. And guys, it can be hard to connect with ladies here, especially recently because Hello Talk has allowed such has even promoted kind of a TikTok environment, you know, for the live streams, just so people will give coins and exchange coins and make money for the app. So unfortunately, it's harder now. But if you show yourself sincere and respectful, you fill out your profile and take the high road when it comes to respecting women. Don't talk about anything flirty or joke around. Make your emphasis about English learning. If you do that consistently, you'll you'll find that they trust women will trust you, and you can have language partners that way. There's not that many guys here compared to women, but you really have to withhold anything that might look like flirtatious or joking around. Just be serious about language learning, and you'll find some partners here. You'll find some partners. If it's male and female, maybe it's better if there's two or three of you instead of just one-on-one, right? and that way it won't feel the pressure, you won't be tempted and all that stuff. So yeah, it's really cool to have a good partner to study with. So I'm happy to hear that, Sophie. Very, very cool. All right. You guys doing good? Janica, you okay?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay. Lucky, Lucky. Oh, what are you doing, Lucky? You guys, I was probably only going to have one group on stage today, I think, because Lucky might be losing signal. Oh, no, there she is. Because we try to cover this diverse perspective. Go ahead, read for us, Janica, please. Consider the long-term impact.
Yes. Think beyond immediate outcome and consider the long-term impact of your decision. Consider how it aligns with your values, aspiration, and future goals. Avoid being swallowed,
Swayed.
swelled s- s- solely by short-term
Okay.
gains or temporary emotions.
Good job. That's a powerful one, especially that last line right there. Avoid being moved by temporary emotions. So emotions are meant to be indicators, not dictators. Your emotions are not supposed to lead you. You're not supposed to pursue them. You're not supposed to run from bad ones and chase after good ones. That's not what they're there for. But all the training we see in the world and on movies and sitcoms, they tell you otherwise. But the truth is, you should be in control of your emotions and practice controlling them because they're supposed to indicate things, not dictate. That's a big one. Sometimes people will make decisions based on emotions or in pursuit of emotions. Not a good factor. So immediate outcomes, think beyond immediate outcomes. Think about a financial investment. You want to think about the long-term investment results, not the short term, right? Um, the same thing with your time. You're using your lifetime to invest in something. You want to make sure there's long-term outcomes that are worth your time, not just a short-term interaction. So consider long-term impact is the title here. Okay, what about managing risks? Lucky, do you want to read this for us, please? Managing risks.
Manage risk, assess the potential risks and uncertainties associated with each option. Consider the likelihood and potential consequences of those risks. Develop con, con, how to say con,
Contingency,
conting,
contingency.
contingency plans to mitigate any
Oh,
adverse outcomes.
I know, quite the legal jargon right there, huh? So, contingency plans. If this happens, we will do this. It's contingent upon certain factors. So, it's like an emergency plan, if you will. So, mitigate means to minimize, mitigate, diminish, right? Diminish any adverse or opposite outcomes than what you want. So have a plan, basically, just say plan, an emergency plan or a backup plan to minimize any opposite effects that you don't want to happen, right? So when you're thinking about the risk of the decisions you're making, then if there are potential risks, you want to have a plan in case those risks materialize so that you can minimize those risks and maximize your benefit, right? So again, these are big decisions, guys, when you're talking about deeper relationship commitments, when you're talking about what college you go to or what company you'll work for, you should think about the long-term benefits of those companies. In fact, when we do job interview practices here, one of the things that I encourage everybody is to have some questions for the employer because usually at the end of the interview, you'll be so nervous and you're so burned out, and they'll say, "Do you have any questions for us?" You're like, "No, just let me go. Just please let me leave. Please. I'm going to cry." And so you should have some questions for them. You should have questions like, What are the horizontal movement opportunities for me? And what is the vertical potential in this company? Like, what's my potential for promotion here? These are valid questions when you're going to commit to a company for any period of time. And so those two questions you should always have. So when you're managing risks, you should think, okay, so long term, what's the problem that this decision can make, and how do I minimize that risk? And is it worth it, right? A lot of questions, guys. We're talking about big decisions here. Anybody lost? Anybody's brain hurt right now? You need a brain timeout? Like, oh, Jonathan, I thought this was gonna be easy. What the heck? The heck? Yeah, well, I think you guys are doing okay. Now here's the big one. Take your time, but don't procrastinate. Take your time, but don't procrastinate.
Procrastinate.
What is procrastinate? What does that mean?
I have no idea.
It's a
Procrastinate.
nice word. Yeah. Janaka, do you know what procrastinate means? Is there a French word for procrastinate? Probably sounds better. All the words in French sound better. Anybody? Procrastinate. Look at the
Mm,
delay. Good job, Katarina.
uh,
Delay or put off, right? Yeah, procrastinate. Put off until it's too late to do it, right? Like,
Is that
procrastinate.
you,
postpone
mm,
as well? Postpone.
postpone. It could be. So someone, I cannot talk to the people of China because they don't procrastinate. They're really on it. But when it comes to studying, some people wait until a few days before the exam. They procrastinate. Whereas other people, like many of the people in China, they have a lifestyle
Mm,
of review and study and reinforce and consider. They're normally very good, very disciplined studying. But some people might procrastinate, put off to the last minute, and then try to memorize everything right before the test. That would be an example of procrastination. So yeah, I'm one of those people. Procrastinate.
Procrastinate.
So bad, so bad. So take your time, but don't procrastinate. When you're making big decision, everybody, those of you in the chat, thank you for being so active with us today. Oh, Candy. Look at Candy's here. Um, so, uh, I lost my thought. I got distracted by Candy. Has that happened to anybody? No, I mean Candy, my sister. Um, yeah, yeah. I put off and then you try to get it all in at the last minute. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can't procrastinate. You should plan. I was gonna say something very important, life-changing, but I forgot. So take your time. So don't give in to impulse. So if you feel pressured to make a quick decision, I would say delay, delay. You go to a car dealer, they don't want you to leave. They don't want you to leave till you decide. So go ahead and leave. Take the contract with you and go ahead and leave. Take control. No, no, no. Let's talk about it. Why do you need to? Oh, I need to take time and read this over. Oh, read it here. Read it here. We'll stay open later for you. They don't want you to. They don't want you to go away. They want you to stay. They want you to hurry up, make a decision. So if you ever feel pressured like that, most of the time I would just time it out. I would just say time out. Uh, if I don't have time to think about it, then I don't want to make a decision today. Yeah, it's a good advice. Yeah, because they want to pressure you so you don't think about it. That's not good. It's not a good sign, right? So all of you guys out there, stop pressuring the ladies to make a decision. Oh, I'm such a hater sometimes. Not you, Janica. All the other guys. He's a gentleman. Janica's a gentleman. All right. Take it.
Right.
So, all right. So, some decisions require time and careful consideration. Who wants to read this? Whose turn? Is it Janica's turn? I forgot, guys. I'm
Uh,
sorry.
my turn, Sophie.
I already did.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Some decisions require time and careful consideration, but be mindful of unnecessary delays, avoid analysis paralysis, and set reasonable
Mm,
deadlines for yourself. take into account the urgency of the decision, and allocate an appropriate amount of time for consideration.
There you go. And they're trying to be funny with the words analysis
Yeah,
paralysis. You know, when you're paralyzed, you can't move.
paralysis.
So they're saying don't, yeah, like when you're paralyzed, you can't move. Like if you're paralyzed from the waist down, you can't use your legs. They don't move, right? Um, so they say don't spend so much time analyzing that you don't take action. And they called it analysis paralysis because it rhymes. You know, no big deal. So they said avoid this, but you have to set a deadline for yourself. Like I have to decide by this time. So yeah, make sense? A little bit, a lot of it, not at
Oui.
all.
Yes.
Questions, answers, statements. You guys are going to be okay. Don't worry about it.
So you have to manage your time.
Mhm.
Yes, absolutely. Give yourself enough time to decide, but also give yourself a deadline when you will make a decision. Take action. You know, you'll get better at making decisions the more you make them. All of this stuff is really complicated right now, but if you practice this, then in your mind you'll think about the risk assessment, you'll evaluate an appropriate amount of time, you'll think of the consequences, you'll think of the long term. You know, all of it will
Uh-huh.
happen, but in the beginning, step by step, you have to take these steps to teach yourself. Good decision makers like business owners. Anybody want to be a business owner here? Maybe? Doctor? Anybody want to be a doctor? Lawyer? Any lawyers here? No?
No,
Not yet?
no.
Okay. All right. Uh, well, even if you run a household, if you have a house, if you buy property, and you have an income, you need to make good decisions because a house is an investment. It requires upkeep and, you know, a car and all of these things. So life itself requires good management. So all of these skills, whether you're going to be in the profession or just have your life, will really benefit you. You just have to practice it, guys. You guys surviving? Hold
Yeah.
on. Now it's Jenica's turn. Sophie, you can use the card again. Sophie said, I think I will read it, Jenica. He was like,
No.
okay.
Uh,
Go ahead, Jenica.
learn,
Go ahead.
learn,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
learn from past decisions. Reflect on your past decision making experiences. Assess the outcomes, identity, what worked well, sorry, and
It's okay.
understand where you could have done better. This self-reflection helps refine your decision-making skills over time.
Absolutely. Good job reading again, Danica. I keep calling you Danica instead of Janica. Please forgive me.
No problem.
I'm so sorry. Danica is a name I'm familiar with, and Janica is just different, so I have to discipline myself. All right, so in the military, whenever we would go on a mission or practice or reel, immediately after you come back, you do what's called an after action report. And what you did was, while it was still fresh in your mind, you thought about
Review.
what things went well. Yeah, you would review what things went well. Oh, well, this went well. This went well. It was good having these supplies. It was good having this amount of time. Okay, what things could have been done better? Well, I wish we would have had more of this particular supply, or I wish I would have given more time for this particular part of the event. Okay, so you have to write it down. And then what things went horribly wrong and you want to prevent that the next time. So this is something you do whenever you make a big decision or you have an experience. If you're taking a TOEFL or IELTS exam, right? Right after, you should say, I should have studied longer on this one area. I knew I needed to, but I procrastinated. Or Man, I talked myself into focusing on this section. I should have focused on this one as well. Whatever, whatever, whatever. You just make notes of what you should do better, what you could have done better. That way, when you're teaching other people who are setting up to take those exams, you'll say, well, when I was finished, even though I passed and I got a great grade, I wish I would have studied more of this and less of that. I wish I would have gotten more sleep the night before the test. Those kinds of things. So this is what you do after each major decision is you evaluate while it's still fresh. What did I do good? What could I have done better? What went really bad and how can I fix that next time? And by doing this, you will get better and better at making decisions. You could become a decision maker. People will come to you and say, "Oh, Sophie, you're so good at making decisions. Help me with this." Or, "Lucky, I can't believe it. How do you come to such good decision making?" Well, my friend Jonathan had this class. It changed my whole life. Watch his YouTube, subscribe, like, share, all that. Okay. I think we have like one or two more slides, guys. Hang in there. Hang in there. Embrace flexibility, Lucky. Would you read this for us, please? Embrace flexibility.
Embrace flexibility. Be open to adjusting your decisions if new information or circumstances emerge. Recognize that not all decisions are set in stone, and adaptability is, is essential. It's better uh, to make necessary course corrections than to stick rigidly to a flawed
Good.
decision.
Very good. You made it through that. Again, a lot of big words, but you guys are all sounding really good reading this. And you probably can't hear yourself because you're focusing on all these big words, but you're all doing really well reading today. And embracing flexibility. This is part of maturing in your decision making process. You've allotted enough time. You've made a decision, but oh, something came up. Hold on, hold on. What was that, Janica? Man, that's important information. No, no, wait just a minute, Sophie. Hold on. This is important information. What Janica is saying is really important. I think we should consider this. And are we still going to make the same decision? This is how you make powerful decisions and how you stay flexible and you make the best course of action. So there's a scripture that says, though we make a plan, that God will direct our steps. So even though we have a plan, maybe something comes up and our steps are directed in a different way. So yeah, does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah,
Because you guys are going to be some really good decision makers. If you make good decisions, the better decisions you make, the more quality of life you'll experience, whether it's financial, how you're going to spend your time, who you're going to spend your time with, right? Big decisions. You got to decide, are these people good influences upon you, or are you just with them because you're always with them, but they kind of distract you, keep you from studying, make you spend too much money? You got to start thinking of these things as you get older. It doesn't mean they're bad people, but you surround yourself with people who are going to help to further your direction, support your goals. And it's a hard decision if you've known people throughout high school and college to cut them off. But I'll tell you this, normally, if you make better decisions and you start to support your personal goals, people who are not in support of that will fall away.
yeah,
You don't have to cut them off, they'll fall away. Yeah, if you say, "Well, guys, I know that I did enjoy it when we went crazy last weekend, but um, I'm really focusing on my where I'm spending my money, and it was fun. I'm glad we did it. I have the memory, but not every weekend, guys. We have to focus. I mean, it's a competitive world. We really need to get our act together, right?" And you'll find that some people say, "Yeah, thank you for that, Sophie. Yeah, good. You're right, Lucky. That's right, Janica." And then other people, "Whoa, did you feel that?" No. And then other people they'll just drift off. They'll be like, "Oh, you guys are crazy. We're gonna have fun. We're young. You're only young once." And they'll say all these things that start sounding really stupid to you. You'll be like, no, that's not good reasoning." All right.
yeah,
All right, guys, you're gonna be thinking about this all. Oh, I think what happened? Oh, I think that's it. That's the last one. Okay, okay. So you guys survived it. Total information overload. I know you guys are like, there's words falling out of your ears. You're like, what's going on? But you read really well. We talked about some pretty important stuff. Does anybody have anything that really resonated with you? Which one of these things really struck with you? Like, I'm gonna have to start doing that.
Take actions.
Take action.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Was that one of them?
yeah,
Take action. All right.
yeah,
So don't have analysis paralysis, right? You gotta make a decision.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Because sometimes people always have their own decisions, but the important thing is how to separate the big decisions into some small decisions, or distribute the decisions in your daily life and take actions to realize it. So I think making a decision is not such a difficult thing. The most difficult thing is to take action and stick on it. It's the most essential thing for people to realize their dream.
Very good. And I know I see what you're saying. Orange is saying too much information, too crowded. I know, guys, we kind of pushed it because I think my phone's overheating outside. It's really hot already. I'm starting to sweat. The sun's going to come over that wall any minute. Um, and so I'll need to start heading home. But this is just one of those information overloaded moments. Normally, we're a little lighter, we go longer, we have a couple different people on stage. But I'll give you a story of three friends of mine, three sisters, and I was, how old was I? 20, 24, 25. Anyway, three sisters, right? They're all about a year apart. And the one I really liked, she's so serious. She didn't want to party with us. She's focused on building her insurance company, something silly. And which she built a very big insurance company. She's a multimillionaire now. Her second sister partied a little bit, but she was also focused on software design. She now heads up a team for Qualcomm, which is a very big computer company here in our country. She used to design software for IBM. So she turned out okay. She partied a little bit. The other one was a party animal with me. Look at the size of that bumblebee. Whoa, they've got some big insects here. That sucker's huge. I'm trying not to die. Hold on a second. He's like this big. um, whew, that scared me. So the story of three sisters. I used to give Teresa oops, I said her name. Anyway, I give her a hard time for always focusing on business. You got to have fun, Teresa. You got to have fun. She said, I need to focus on my business. So started her own makeup line, married a really handsome man. She was a model. He was a model. They have beautiful children. Their kids are in college. They have $1 million house, all the stuff. We're still in contact. I've known her 30 years. And I think she made the best decisions. I was really silly and just trying to be crazy. Mary did okay. She ended up marrying Bob, and they both have good businesses going on. Again, they both had attractive kids and in college. And Tina, kind of okay, just kind of normal compared to the other two. She does okay. She has a nice house. Anyway, why do I share that with you? Well, each sister had different measure of priority. Teresa was obsessed with her business. Um, and she did really well. But now, she's traveled the world many times, and now she's trying to find herself because she didn't find herself when she was younger, right? Kind of thing. Um, Mary had the best balance, I think. Yeah, Mary had the best balance. Um, and I wasn't serious at all. Anyway, I share that with you because you need balance. You need your balance. If you're going to be a business owner, and you're probably gonna have to give up some stuff right now because your friends are doing all kinds of crazy stuff. If you really want it, you gotta sacrifice a lot. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. And Teresa did it. She did it, and now she's kind of catching up. So I just share it with you because three different sisters, three different balances. All of them turned out pretty good. Their parents are proud. The kids are in college. You just got to make your own decision. That's just an example from life. Don't judge me. I'm just kidding. So look at this tree has flowers. Isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
it drops them. It's kind of cool. Anyway, any questions for me, guys? Questions, comments? I know it was a lot of information, you guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very interesting um, subject. The text was great, very useful.
And I
Thank
can
you.
I can send it to you guys in
Yes,
the
please.
private group if you want. It's only like 10 or 12 slides. So I can send it to you. As we adjust to this new schedule over the next 2 weeks, I'll have some lighter topics. Orange, hang in there with us. Orange in the chat. We're going to have some lighter topics coming up. Um, and I know it's a real background, guys. It's not a green screen. They thought it looked like a picture behind me. Um, we'll have some casual stuff or some less concentrated information. So thank you guys. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, Lucky, Danica. It was a really good combination of people on stage today, and we had a guy up here. What? Yeah, very cool. Merci beaucoup, 谢谢. And okay, I,
Merci beaucoup.
je ne comprends pas. I said I don't understand, guys. I only know a few phrases in French, but French is the preferred language in my country. All right. Well, I'll say goodbye to you guys and I'll do my outro. I think I've talked to everybody before, no? If we haven't, let me send you guys a hand wave so we can stay in touch because sometimes after you're on a live stream, you're like, where'd that person go? I don't know how to get a hold of them. So give me just a moment. Sophie, I'm sure we're in touch already, right? I think so.
Right.
Yeah. And of course, Lucky, we're in touch also already. Okay, guys, I'll say goodbye for now.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
See you.
Have a good evening, you
Bye.
guys.
Have a
Ciao
good
for
day.
now.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna go to sleep. What are you talking about? Okay, Janica. Okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna close for now, everybody. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. It was so cool to see Candy here for a second. And Monera, thank you for joining us. Oh, is she still here? Oh, she is. Candy, bring yourself on stage. Let me say hi to you. Oh, no, you're at work. Forget it. Sorry, it's morning.
Hello,
Oh, you can? What? Oh, I thought you were at work
I'm
already.
not at work.
Okay, I'm so confused. My clock is all
I
messed up.
think you,
Yeah.
I see the time that you would like to have the live stream. It is 9:20 p.m. But when
Oh, yeah, that's right.
it
Oh,
was 9:20 and I opened the live stream and there are 3 people who get on the stage.
yeah. Well, because I was gonna try to race home. I got off work a half hour early, and so I was gonna try to race home real quick and get inside my comfortable house. And my phone overheats outside, because it's hot when you're doing live streaming, and also it's hot out here. And I didn't bring my little cooling device for the phone, so I didn't think I'd have much time. And then the sunrise was coming up, and I was like, let me start my live stream early. And so
By the
anyway,
way, I want
I
to say
started it
your
early.
background looks like fake and it is the picture behind you.
No, it's not fake. These are those trees that are really cool. Except there's a lot of ants here, so I keep making sure they're not going on my feet because the fire ants. It's such a hot season. This is that really cool tree. I like this tree so much. You see how the bark is green? So the whole tree is green like this because it produces food from the bark, not just the leaves. And the leaves are so tiny, that's how it can survive in the desert because they can't burn up. They're too small. And then it produces these bright yellow flowers like 5 or 6 times during the season, and then they fall, and it makes this path look really bright yellow and beautiful. Um, yeah, and so these trees are really cool, and it's a nice section
It is
here.
the scenery when you go to your company.
Yeah, this is the last 2 miles before work is this bicycle path next to the highway. Um,
So
and it's
you
nice.
just
It's a nice
finish
path.
your work or you need to go to work right now?
No, I'm going home to go to
Oh,
sleep. I finished my work.
okay.
I finished usually 6 o'clock, but by 5:30 I didn't want to take my last break, and so my supervisor said, "You can go home at 5:30 if you want." I'm like, "Yes." So I was trying to, like I said, trying to get home, but I saw the sunrise. I thought about you guys, and I was like, "Let me start this. I'll start this early
And
today."
I also think
Yeah.
that your voice is better than your, maybe it is not yesterday, the day yesterday before
Oh
yesterday.
yeah.
How can I say?
I'm back to 100%. Yeah, I'm completely healed now. Completely healed. Yeah, so it was a little rough. I stopped coughing pretty much. The congestion's gone. Yeah, I'm back to normal now. Pretty much. I'm gonna go home and go to sleep though. The dogs are waiting. My brother, when I get home, my brother will be going to work, and the dogs are happy that we're tag teaming. Where there's somebody always home. They sleep all day. I usually sleep out in the living room so that keep the dogs company, but they just sleep. It's not that comfortable out there, but I don't want to leave them. Yeah, and I couldn't use my CPAP at home anyway because my nose was congested. So, yeah, but it's good to see you, sis. I'm glad to see Moneta was here, and just a couple of weeks of this, and no word on the promotion for that other position yet. So I'll put on some music and race home right now,
Okay.
and yeah. All right.
Have a great rest.
Thank you, thank you. You too. It's
Yeah.
evening there. You too, and we'll talk to you later, alligator.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, Zaijian. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to say goodbye to all of you also. Thanks again for joining us. Sorry the topic was so deep today, but I will make a topic that we can share before I go to work and have the same topic after work like this for 1 hour. But I should shut off my phone. I'm sure it's really overheating right now. And so fun spending all this time with all of you. Monera, thank you for moderating. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I will not have a call on the way home. I just want to turn on some music and try to race home. So, all right. Talk to you guys later. Take care of each other. And if you guys don't know, my next stream, Amy from China, will be at 6 p.m. my time, maybe 5:30 p.m. my time, like 12 hours from now. I'll set it up as soon as I can, okay? Thank you, Amy. All right, guys. All right, guys. Talk to you later. See you guys. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.